I want to do a quick walk around of my newer truck, new to me truck. It is a 2020 Duramax Chevy Colorado. It's the 2.8 liter, obviously. Um, and it is the AEV Bison ZR2, which is a long name. 2020 Colorado AEV Bison ZR2. And it has the 4ZR package. The 4ZR package is like an extra package. I think all the Bisons get it, if I'm not mistaken. And they have like a Bose sound system, a better transmission cooler, I believe, like um, six-way adjustable driver's seat, stuff like that. It's a pretty sweet truck. I like it a lot. People online on YouTube dog on these 2.8s. They say a lot. Most of the people who did reviews on these trucks are like, dude, these trucks, they're good trucks, but they just don't have much power. They don't have much get up and go, blah, blah, blah. The truck I was driving before this is a 2009 Tacoma regular cab with the 2.7 liter four cylinder. Okay. When you compare this to that truck, this is like in far and above way better. Okay. So yeah, I understand if you come from someone who's driving one of those newer 4.0 liter V6s or whatever that are in some Tacomas and some other rigs. Yeah, it's not going to have as much power, okay? But when you come from a fucking 2.7 liter to this, it's night and day, and I couldn't be happier with it. I don't need to be hauling ass wherever I go, right? As long as I can pass people safely on a regular basis, because I'm like a 5 to 7 over kind of guy. Like usually, if the speed limit's 55, I'm going 60, 62 at least. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. And it can do that up basically any hill, no matter what. So I'm not too worried about it. A lot of people online say, oh, by the way, it has 35s on it, which is pretty cool. A lot of people online say that they're getting 20 plus miles to the gallon with their 35-inch tires. I imagine those people are only driving on flat highway uh, because where I live up in the mountains, I'm at like 3,800 feet, and I work 2 days on, 4 days off at the fire department that I work for. When I drive down to basically 300 feet in elevation down in the Sacramento Valley, and then I drive back up home, and then I drive down to Redding, which is another 3,000 feet, and back up, it's like I'm getting 15 and a half, 16 miles to the gallon. So I don't know where these people are getting their amazing gas mileage from, but I'm certainly not getting that. I will say that we just did a trip over to the northeastern corner of California a couple days ago to see the in-laws, and it's a 3-hour drive. On the way back, I got 19 and a half miles to the gallon, which is really good. I don't know if it's the diesel that they have up there is better or what, but I mean, I still went over 3 mountain passes, so I should have had horrible gas mileage as well, but I didn't. So it is what it is. It's got the AEV Bison bumper with this bull bar. I guess this is like there's the regular Bison or the regular AEV bumpers, and then there's another edition that has this bull bar. So that has that. Originally, the truck came with the back bumper as well, but if you can probably tell, it doesn't have the regular truck bed anymore. It has a flatbed. So chill, my neighbor, nice old dude. Uh, it's got a flatbed now, and the flatbed is from AEV, but AEV contracts their flatbed builds, from what I can tell. I comment or I sent them an email to try to get some information about this truck or just AEV Colorados in general. And I believe this one came from the factory, how it is, other than the truck bed, obviously. So the truck bed was put on by somebody else other than AEV, but was ordered through them. Anyways, they contract their flatbed builds through another company. I think it's called Ute Ltd or something like that. I'll put the link to their website in the bio for this video, and it's a pretty awesome video. So let me show you what it looks like. And we'll just start here on this corner and work our way around. So it comes with this flatbed. I love the flatbed. I'm not super stoked about how it opens and closes, because every time I want to drop this rear tailgate, I got to do both sides. But it's pretty simple, and so far it hasn't been an issue. One thing I do like about it, though, however, is that these just pop right off. So I just go ahead and push it in, and it'll pop off, which is pretty nice. And then when I close it, I can just do one side at a time if I'm not going anywhere serious or anything like that. And I just don't want, you know, stuff that I might have in the back to flop out. Or if I'm in a hurry, like when I'm a hound hunter, that's what this is for, and that's what my hounds are for. And so when they're in the box, and I can go route the road right here to go hunting, and I can just close one side, and they're fine. Nothing's gonna happen. So yeah, it's got this flatbed. I love the flatbed. They do sell square boxes that can go right here. They're pretty expensive. I'm not interested in spending a bunch of money on square boxes to go right there. So I'm gonna build my own, and I'm gonna get rid of these fenders that look like they're basically from a barrel. It looks like they cut a barrel top off and stuck it on there. I don't like the look of it. So I'm going to get rid of those. The tail lights are on some chintzy metal, so I'm going to redo that. I've already done some work to the back bumper. Originally, there was a tow bar that was mounted to the underside of each side of the frame, and it came down and then stuck out the back right about in here, and then came over, went back under, and then went up to the side rail. And then this bumper actually came down to the side, over, up. It looked ridiculous. This is just a big metal plate. I hated it. So I already changed this because I couldn't stand it. I do lots of side gigs on top of being a fireman, and one of the main things is tree work. And I need to be able to tow my tree work trailer to be able to go do tree jobs. And I couldn't do that with the setup that I had here, because when I put in my drop hitch, it was just almost to the ground. I mean, it was low, and it looked goofy. It wouldn't be safe going down the highway with that. So one of the first things I did was change the bumper, and now it works great. So I'm going to stick with that for sure. I still have a lot of work that I want to do back here. I'm probably going to change these angles as well, and then I'm going to come over and cut a slot in this metal right here and put some 1/2 inch through there and weld it on the back side so that I can put, you know, shackles right here and have a good spot to tow from, or to get this thing out of the mud if I need. I'm going to change the angles here. I don't like these random holes. I'll probably fill in these holes, fill this in maybe, or put a light there or something. I'm not sure yet. There's a ton of wasted space underneath this bed, if you can't tell. And it's hard to show how it looks right now, but the frame is right here, and then there's a angled piece that comes out, and that's what this bracket sits on, that this goes on, and that holds the flatbed on. I'm going to get rid of this, make a whole new bracket to go in here. Maybe you can see it from this other side. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to get rid of this square tube and get rid of this and make a whole new bracket to go right here. So I can take this chunk of metal and scoot it over as far as I can, right? Line it up with the edge of the bed here. I'm going to nick this down probably 1 inch, bring it all the way down to here, and take this over to the other side, and then box that off. And then I'm going to do a huge tray right here. I'll be able to put a massive tray in. I'll move my light down here, I'll move my camera down here. And this is going to be, you know, a 32 inch wide by 5 foot deep by, you know, 5 or 6 inch thick drawer that I'll be able to put back here, and that's going to be awesome. The ones I see online, they're just not that big, and I think they're not that big because, you know, they have the bracket right there and they have to work around this cross member and whatnot. But since I know how to metal fabricate stuff, I'm going to change that, and I'm going to make it much, much, much better. And then I'm going to have a bunch of spare space in here. I'm not going to put a winch in here. I don't go that hard. If I need to, I'll have spots right here that someone can yank me out of a nasty hole if I ever get in one. But I'm never going to put myself in a situation where I might need to, you know, pull myself out backwards with a winch. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do that. So what I'm thinking about doing is mounting some onboard air in this space back here, and then doing a small hose reel right here, so I can just pull my air hose out, and away I go. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. That might be a little more expensive of a thing to do, but it's definitely in the cards. And along with all the work I'm going to do back here, I'm going to beef up the taillight section and make it to where when I put a drawer right there, it will blend in nicely, you know, so that it's not just this big open gap and then these are just flopping around, you know. I'm going to redo that all, and I'm going to use some 10-inch lights, that, you know, real long, narrow lights to go right here instead. It should look pretty good. Again, I said I'm going to build some triangular shaped boxes like you see on all those, ute trays, the Australian trays. I'm going to build some to go here and make some fenders to get rid of those as well. Apart from doing the bumper like I did the first time, I actually changed that guy first. So the antenna, again, it's hard to zoom in on it. The antenna that came on this stuck out way high, which is fine and all, but I don't like that. I don't like that the headache rack sticks way above the truck. I'll probably end up putting a rack on this thing at some point. And whenever I do that, I'm probably going to come in here, take this headache rack all apart, cut off however many inches I need so that it sits down flush with the rack that's going to be on top of my truck. And dude, this big ass tire being right in the way of the bed of my truck is a pain in the butt. I don't know where I'm going to move it yet, but I am going to move it at some point. And I think honestly, like for what I do and for where I go, I don't need 35-inch tires. I really don't. When these wear out, I'm going to go with 33s and call it good. And when I go with 33s, I'll be able to take that tire and put it under the back of the truck like it came stock. I know, it decreases the angle that I'll be able to go over stuff on the back end, but I'm really not that worried about it. I'm not going to be rock crawling this thing. I'm going to be taking it over stumps and logs and stuff like that when I'm hound hunting and up, pretty nasty roads, but nothing super, super, super crazy. So with the tire underneath there, it shouldn't be any kind of issue. It comes stock with these rock sliders here, and then underneath the truck, of course, it comes with all of the skid plates, which is nice. They are heavy. Am I going to use them ever? Am I ever going to be driving over stuff where I'm going to have to worry about, big rocks and boulders getting up in there? No, probably not, but I'm probably just going to leave it how it is anyway. Comes with these stock AEV wheels. They're badass. So they're actual bead locks, which is nice. I'm probably never going to run these things down low enough to where I'm going to need bead locks, but it's nice to have as an option just in case, If you can't tell, I've already been using the crap out of the truck. It's dirty. It's probably always going to be dirty. It's probably going to get a lot more scratch than it is now, and that's fine. This is a utility truck. It's not to look pretty. It's not to be fancy in. Yeah, it's a pretty cool truck. I think it looks cool, but it's not going to be the most glorious thing on the world. I'm going to try to keep from getting dents in it. I'm going to try to keep from getting big scratches in it. But for the most part, it's got to be able to go where I want it to go, It came from the dealership that I got it from with this badass Baja Designs. I think it's a 20-inch light bar. It does amazing, so I'm definitely going to keep that on there. I'm definitely going to put a winch in here, but to be completely honest with you, I hate the look of these bumpers. I absolutely hate them. If someone wants to buy this off me, let me know. I'll probably sell it to you for relatively cheap. I think these are like $2,700 brand new. And, well, obviously it's not brand new, so I'll sell it for relatively cheap, maybe $1,000 or something. I don't know. All cleaned up. It still looks brand new. I don't know who had this truck before me, but they definitely didn't off-road it at all, that's for sure. Stock headlights, stock grill, all that kind of stuff. The AEV Bisons come with these guys, which allow you to fit the 35-inch tires, which is nice. Oh, duh, it's got a snorkel. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, and then the inside, like I said, it has the 4ZR package. Don't mind the mess. I've been using the crap out of it. It comes with, a Bose sound system, which sounds amazing, especially compared to my old school Tacoma over there. It's just, it's so much better. It's unreal. Like all the ZR2s, it comes with lockers. So here are your lockers and all that fun stuff. I'm going to put a Bullet, I think it's called a Bullet Designs mountain rack right here. Probably later today, honestly. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Super nice seats. A lot of people are like, oh, these seats are so uncomfortable. But again, when you come from a truck like that, Tacoma, to this, it is so much better. There's no reason to be hating on the comfort of these trucks or anything like that, if you ask me. Now I'm 5'8", 170, and like I'm a stocky 170. So my daughter's car seat fits back here perfectly. Oh, there's my mug. My daughter's car seat fits back here perfectly. I've got a little seat protector here for her feet, so she's not, kicking my seat and whatnot. But it does great. And then my son, we still use his other car seat, and it comes in and out of here when we're traveling around and whatnot. So it's not bad at all. Occasionally, my wife will get back here if he's crying, because he's only a couple months old. And she fits pretty well. It's nothing crazy, but she's only 2, 110 pounds. So that'll give you an idea of who fits back here. Now, I did manage to get this truck registered in Modoc County, California. My wife and I live up at our in-laws pretty much half the time. Um, so being able to get it registered up there means I won't ever have to worry about getting this thing smogged again. And if you know anything about these diesels and that little blue cap right there, you know that little blue cap, the stuff that goes inside of that little blue cap, kind of kills these engines. So I'm going to see about remedying that here sometime in the near future. When I sell my Tacoma, this thing's getting some extra work done to it. Later this spring, I'm going to do a full camper build out for this thing. It'll be one of those ones that slides on the back. It'll kind of come up out here, up over the cab, it'll be like that shape right there. And then the top is going to be folded. I haven't decided if it's going to be folded up or it's going to be like I forget the name of it. There's one out there that goes on regular truck beds and it folds all the way out and it sleeps 4 people comfortably. I might try to do something like that. I can sew and weld and all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely within the realm of possibility and within, my abilities as a fabricator. So I'm really looking forward to that build. It should be pretty interesting. So the truck comes with, stock bump stocks and the stop shocks and everything. And these have been great for what I need. I'm not going to be raging this thing like crazy. I do drive pretty quick in the woods. But for now, there's no reason for me to worry about changing them. So I just have a few things to do to this bumper. And then I get to start working on the pullout and the triangular boxes for the back. So if you don't know much about these diesels already, it's a good idea to run an additive in the diesel fuel itself. I'm going to go with I think it's called AMSOIL AP 6500, something like that. I just ordered it. I'm going to use that stuff, and it's supposed to be really good, like the best bang for your buck that you can get for running in a diesel truck like this. Also, the transmissions in these trucks aren't great. They have a issue with the torque converter, and if you're not careful, you can basically blow it out. So I'm going to get this serviced because it just now went over the 30,000 mile mark. And so I'm probably going to get this serviced within the next couple of weeks and make sure that the oil's all taken care of and everything like that, because I do not want that to happen. And eventually when I diet this thing, it'll take care of that, little tune that'll help the torque converter not get blown up, basically. So that's my truck. If you have any questions about it, let me know. If you have any issues with it, let me know. Let me know what you think I should do to it. Like I said, it's going to stay kind of how it is with some other minor things, because I think it's a super capable rig how it is. I don't need, a whole bunch of rock crawling capabilities. But for what I do with my hound dogs, getting around the woods, I definitely want it to be quite capable, and I think it is that already. So with a few things, I think it's going to be one of the dopest rigs I've ever had, for sure. I mean, my Tacoma before this I thought was awesome, and it is far beyond that. So again, I'm super thankful for the opportunity to get a truck like this. I know it's not brand new, but it's new to me. I'm glad I got the diesel because it's just far and away better than the gasoline version, if you ask me. The miles per gallon's better, the torque's better, I'll be able to tow stuff better. I definitely want to put airbags on the back. I haven't found out. I've been looking online, but I can't find if they have some of the Daystar. I forget what they're called. They're made by Daystar, and the airbag sets on it instead of being bolted on both ends, which reduces your articulation in the back of the truck. The airbag is free to move and come off of that Daystar cradle, is what it's called. So I want to get something like that to put in the back of this, so that I still have full articulation. But if I want to haul, something heavy, or when I put my DIY camper on here, I don't want the truck to be, squatted like crazy. So, yeah. Any questions? Let me know what you got. Thanks.